6.
We are just 1 week away from when many Kentuckians will head to the polls to cast their ballots in the primary election on May 17th. WYMT's Dakota Maker has talked with one Eastern Kentucky county clerk about what voters can expect.
Nearly 20,000 people are registered to vote in Perry County. Perry County Clerk Wayne Napier says his office is prepared for Election Day.
Now we're doing absentee in-person voting, but starting Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you'll be able to vote in the courthouse. Anyone will be able to come in and vote.
Currently, there is not a huge turnout for in-person absentee voting. Napier says they also sent out only 200 mail-in ballots.
Actually, that's probably about normal, but from the president's race we had the last time, that was just outrageous. We had a lot more then.
To make voting easier, the county has 4 county-wide voting centers. All registered voters in the county can vote at places like Perry County Central High School, Gospel Light Baptist Youth and Community Center in Chavies, Whitaker Athletic Center, and the Old Sears Building in Lothair.
They started that when COVID started because they just didn't want people out all over and you couldn't get precinct workers.
Napier says the county still has its other precincts, but his office cannot find enough workers. They need at least 5 more workers.
We've got one lady, I think she's in mid-80s. She's been working it since I was a kid. She's still working. The older people like that are dedicated.
He says the more people who come in early to vote will help keep the crowds low on Election Day. In Perry County, Dakota Maker, WYMT Mountain News.
Voting wraps up at 6 p.m. on Election Day, but if you are in line at the time the polls close, you can still vote. Well, looking ahead to some future races, today Kentucky Commissioner of Agriculture Dr. Ryan Quarles rolled out a formal launch video and heightened social media presence in preparation for the 2023 Kentucky State Governor's race. The video and social media launch comes as the 38-year-old is in his second term as Commissioner of the Kentucky Department of Agriculture. State Auditor Mike Harmon is also running for governor on the Republican side.
Well, blue skies have been the calling card of our weather pattern over the last couple of days, and we've got more on the way over the next couple of days. We see outside at the moment beautiful blue skies this evening. I-64 at Moorhead. No traffic to speak of, at least traffic that would be impactful. Out front of WYMT here in Hazard, we've got plenty of sunshine, but like I said, you notice those shadows getting a little longer as that sun sets. Temperatures around the region on the warm side. Look at Irvin at 85, but most of us within a degree or two of 80 at this hour. We'll continue to see dew points in the upper 50s and upper 40s and low 50s around the region, indicating we're slowly bringing some moisture back. Pinpoint Dopplers a clean sweep all around the region. Nothing to worry about. We're in the mid-50s overnight with clear skies returning. I'll have the very latest on when we could see a couple of showers work back into the forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Steve?
All right, Evan, thank you. A 28-year-old Kentucky mother has been arrested for child abuse. Deputies say Alexis Powell burned her child's feet as a way of punishment for misbehaving. Deputies say a 4-year-old had second and third degree burns on both feet. Powell is facing various charges, including assault, child abuse, wanton endangerment, and endangering a minor. Deputies say the child is being treated at a burn unit in Ohio. We are still waiting to learn the identity of a Southern Kentucky man killed in a house fire this morning. The fire left him dead and a woman injured near the Woodstock community of Pulaski County. People called 911 with word of a man trapped inside, but it was too late.
I was on the phone with him and he just hollered, "Oh God, he's still in there." He said, "Call 911 and tell him he's still in the house."
It happened this morning at a home on Liberty Road off Highway 70. Firefighters from departments in several different counties responded, but officials said there was not much they could do to save the man inside or his home. A woman did escape by jumping out a window. That woman is being treated at a burn unit.
From the way I took it, yes, sir, she had smoke inhalation and burns. She was flown out by Kentucky 3 that's stationed out of Somerset.
The coroner tells us he is having to use medical records to identify the man. The woman is at a hospital in Louisville. Officials have not released her name either. The Laurel County Sheriff's Office is reporting a missing man who was last seen on Halloween of last year. Police say they're looking for 62-year-old Mickey Fields. Fields was last seen off Dean Hunley Road, just north of London. Fields is said to be a balding white man with a mustache, has hazel eyes, and is wheelchair bound. If you have any information, you're asked to call police. More than 150 people die every day from overdoses due to fentanyl or other synthetic opioids. Because of this, the DEA has launched the first National Fentanyl Awareness Day, informing everyone on the risks associated with this drug. WYMT's Alyssa Williams spoke to experts on drug safety about the prevalence of fentanyl in our communities and why prevention is so important.
A drug that is 50 times stronger than heroin and 100 times stronger than morphine.
Well, fentanyl is something that we've seen an uprising in. It's kind of taken its spot along with mixed with other drugs.
Illicitly manufactured fentanyl is available on the drug market as a powder or liquid form, but more dangerously, it is being mixed with other illicit opioids.
The scary part about the landscape of the drug culture today is that even things that supposedly wouldn't have fentanyl in them may be laced with fentanyl.
The DEA says nearly half of all counterfeit pills are laced with lethal doses of fentanyl.
It is a game of Russian roulette. Every time somebody uses, it could be their last time.
The CDC says this is contributing to the spike in overdose deaths in the country. But even more pressing, the drug is also getting into the hands of a younger audience.
Teenagers don't seek out illicit opioids, but they do seek out prescription opioids. That's always been, one of their favorite drugs. And what's happening now is they're ending up with counterfeit medications.
President CEO of Operation Unite, Nancy Hale, says educating our youth on the risks of fentanyl is crucial in assisting the fentanyl crisis.
They need to understand that this pill may look like a Percocet. It may look like an OxyContin, but the odds are that it is contaminated and laced with fentanyl, and one pill can kill you.
Helping to keep everyone informed on National Fentanyl Awareness Day. Alyssa Williams, WYMT Mountain News.
President and CEO of Operation Unite, Nancy Hale, says there needs to be more education on the drug's risks and education on signs of overdose in our schools. She adds that in order to impact the fentanyl crisis, we should all jump on the prevention bandwagon. Your commute may take a little longer. An unexpected crash speeds up renovations for a century-old bridge in Floyd County. The bridge is now closed for repairs. It sits along Kentucky 550. A person crashed into a guardrail, ripping off its foundation. The 90-year-old bridge was getting inspected every 3 months. Kentuckians can now expect to take a detour like Kentucky 80, adding an extra 5 to 10 minutes to their commutes. Renovations are starting this week. The bridge is expected to open back up in August. The third annual Startup Appalachia Pitch Competition is on the books for June, but there's still a little time to sign up. SOAR's Business Starter Competition invites applications from startups from any Appalachian county in the Commonwealth searching for the next innovative business to receive a grand prize to help plant the seeds of success. With the first prize taking home $10,000, second $3,500, and third place winning $1,500. SOAR Executive Director Colby Hall says it's a good way to invest in local ideas.
This pitch competition is meant for for-profit entities, business ideas that can come and make money and reinvest back in communities to create jobs, to hire folks. That's what this pitch competition is meant to do, and it's really at its highest level meant to find that next big idea across Appalachia.
Applications for the competition are available on the SOAR website. Those close Friday. This year's event will be held in Hazard during the Focus Summit later in June at HCTC. Paintsville is adding something special to its lake, bringing access to the people of Johnson County. WYMT's Buddy Forbes has more about the Casting for Kids mission that is now creating something for the community.
This is the founder, if y'all can get a shot of her.
Founded on a little faith.
She got her dad stirred up. And she created a monster.
Casting for Kids just cut the ribbon to cut out some barriers to accessibility.
When you get everyone together, you could take these mountains down.
Getting the process flowing on an ADA-compliant boardwalk and kayak launch site at Paintsville Lake.
We're serving our residents and our citizens. We're serving those who may have some challenges that they need help overcoming.
Addressing a need for better access to those who rely on alternative mobility.
They're not able to go out here and just walk down to this rock. So this opens up that avenue to where they can share what we share. That I'm going to go out and catch a fish that easy.
Giving everyone a seat at the picnic table.
We're familiar with ADA and being ADA compliance.
By making sure no matter their abilities, everyone can enjoy what the region has to offer.
You better believe that's going to be a great day whenever we have this project complete and we see folks that are able to go down this pier and fish off this boardwalk into the water or go out there and get on their kayak. That's when it all becomes real.
With representatives from the county finding grant money to make sure the project could happen without dipping into the funds the organization raises for the Shriners Children's Hospital.
The Shrine Club is going to need to utilize 2 or maybe 3-4 years worth of some of their proceeds to help make this project happen. But this is a community project, and that's what we should be about.
Bringing the Passion Project into its first phase, as co-founder Chris Ferguson waits for the day the lake is open to not only his daughter.
It'll be tears. Yeah, for me, it'll be tears.
But an entire community of people waiting by the water.
This community may not have the biggest lake, but we sure got the biggest heart.
In Johnson County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
Organizers hope to see the boardwalk and kayak launch in place before this time next year, ready to see it utilized by those who may otherwise never get to enjoy a day on the water. A former Knott County Judge Executive has died. Homer Sawyer died last week at his home in Hindman. He was a U.S. Army veteran, a member of the Masons, and served as Judge Executive for 13 years. His funeral was yesterday at Montgomery Baptist Church. Homer Sawyer was 81.
Coming up, sunshine and warm weather continue in the forecast as we run through the work week. The very latest is coming up next.
And we'll hear from several organizations in our region participating and asking for your help to support them in this year's Kentucky Gives Day.
WYMT News app offers